There are some things that every man is afraid to hear, but today you're gonna have to face it. Nocturne's Journal, August 25th, 2024. The world is awash in filth and lies. People are wandering blindly in this fog, getting closer to the precipice. Today I'm not just going to tell you about an ordinary problem. I'm going to immerse you in what undermines our consciousness, the danger that trips everyone up in the very moments when you least expect it. I see the world as it is, dirty, decaying, ruled not by people but by their base desires. Let's start with what it means to be a human being. A person is a combination of experiences and actions. You may leave behind risky ventures, but the adrenaline of feeling a fast car ride will take your breath away and still beckon you back. You may give up alcohol, but the temptation to touch a glass of scalding whiskey will always be there. So it is with a woman who craves freedom and instant adventure. If she is attracted by the glitter of social parties and the noise of the night city, if she knows the taste of free relationships and fleeting connections, then this is not just a feature of her character, it is her essence, and she lives it. And when she faces a choice, you or her passions, you'll soon realize that it wasn't you who was chosen. Maybe not right away, but in the long run, you don't stand a chance. At first, she'll promise you stars from heaven, assuring you that her old life is a thing of the past. But believe me, these are empty words said in a burst of emotion when the fire of passion for you has not yet died. In time, when the novelty of your image fades, she will begin to reach for the familiar. There is nothing permanent in this world except for inclinations, to which a man returns again and again. You'll be just another stepping stone for her to the next entertainment. Imagine a woman for whom morning returns from the club have become a habit. In her eyes, this life is a way to escape from the gray reality, to close the emptiness inside. If she has already crossed her moral barriers for the sake of a moment's pleasure, cheating will be just another step for her, no different from any other. She will justify herself to you and to herself, because nothing is more important to her than the satisfaction of her desires. If you ask a woman if she has ever cheated, will she admit it? She will tell you that she is faithful, that betrayal is impossible for her. But these are just words she says to hide the truth. Human nature is such that we are adept at deceiving ourselves so that we don't feel guilty for our actions, especially when it comes to our weaknesses. These weaknesses can show up at any moment when we least expect it. That is why I am telling you, be vigilant. Don't allow yourself to relax. I advise you to carefully watch this video to the end, or better, to re-watch it several times or even write down the main points. After all, the signs and signals I'm about to tell you about may one day save your nerves and possibly your life. Yes, infidelity occurs among both men and women, but it is female infidelity that most often has devastating consequences for relationships. Rarely does a woman immediately realize the mistake and come back with remorse. Why does this happen? Because for a woman, infidelity is an indicator that she no longer sees her partner as the one and only. Female infidelity is always deeply emotional, and the new person in her life often becomes a new attachment, a new object of love. Even if she doesn't leave for the first person who caught her attention, it will most likely happen with the second. And if she doesn't leave, she will probably create a situation where a third member will come along, and in such a triangle, she can no longer be faithful to her man. If you notice at least one of the following signs in your partner, it's a serious reason to think about her reliability and fidelity. Let's take a look at these signals. How often do we see women who seemingly do nothing wrong? Short shorts, revealing outfits, attention-grabbing makeup. They walk down the streets like predators and stare at us without shyness. Many men think it's just fashion, just a desire to look attractive. But I'll tell you the truth, they know what they're doing. They understand the power of their looks, and they use it consciously. They are like wolves in sheep's clothing, luring you into a trap with their manners, smiles, outward propriety. At first you think that you have conquered her, that she looks at you with adoration, and you will start a new life together. But look into her eyes, feel what lies behind that mask. Is she willing to leave her old habits behind for you? Is she willing to sacrifice her freedom for true love? Or is it just a game, and she's already looking for the next suitor who can offer her something new after you've lost your luster? Many men fall into this trap. They start thinking that they can change such a woman, make her a perfect wife, mother, hearthkeeper. This is self-deception. A woman who is used to easy relationships, to flirt and attention from other men, then she will not change. She will only adjust to your expectations for a while, but as soon as she feels weak, as soon as the opportunity arises, she will return to her former life. Be attentive to the signs. If a woman actively shares her candid photos on social networks, if she tries to demonstrate her attractiveness to the world, it means that this is what she values first of all, the attention and admiration of others. A man for such a woman is just a stage, a temporary companion on her way to endless confirmation of her importance. She will never sacrifice it for the sake of stable relationships, for the sake of true love. There are other signs that cannot be ignored. If a woman has had many short-term relationships that succeeded each other without much meaning, then for her being with a man is just entertainment. She doesn't see it as anything serious, nothing sacred. She looks at it as a way to close her emotional holes, to fill the emptiness inside. And the more she has had these relationships, the fewer internal boundaries she has left that will keep her from making the same mistakes in the future. Another aspect to consider is the desire for constant adrenaline. There are women who cannot live without an emotional drive, without the feeling that they are on the edge of the abyss. These are those who crave extreme sensations, whether it is fast driving or skydiving. For them, life is a race where the main thing, do not stop, do not give yourself time to think. Such women see relationships as another roller coaster ride, and if you think that you can keep such a woman only on your side, think again. In her mind, cheating, scandals, and quarrels are the same adrenaline she is used to getting in other areas of life. She is not afraid to destroy the relationship for the sake of this feeling, for the opportunity to taste danger, to do something forbidden. Extreme women easily cross the boundaries, because for them this is life, the struggle for another emotional outburst. When they meet a new partner, they see him not as a person, but as an opportunity to experience new emotions. And sooner or later, this thirst for adventure will lead them to the destruction of what is built on trust and mutual understanding. There is another type of women to be wary of, those who are used to solve their problems with the help of alcohol. If a girl knows the taste of drunken fun and chaos, it means that there is an emptiness inside her that she cannot fill otherwise. Such women don't know what they want from life, and that's why they rush from one extreme to another. You may think that you can fill that void with yourself, that you will be an anchor for her that will keep her from falling into chaos. But the truth is, these women know no boundaries. They live for the moment, for short-term pleasure, and when a new opportunity opens up in front of them, whether it's another man or just a way to escape reality, they won't hesitate to step forward. One more thing I have to say. If a woman was once a lover, if she has already embarked on this path, then cheating is not taboo for her. It's not just a mistake, it's a choice she made consciously. She knows how to justify herself. She knows how to find excuses for her actions. And if it has happened before, it can happen again. And when you meet a woman like this, you have to remember, if she was a lover in a previous relationship, she can easily do the same thing again in a relationship with you. Another sign that should alert any man is lying. If a woman has deceived you at least once, if she dodges, conceals the truth, then be sure she will do it again and again. Lying is a poison that slowly eats away at trust, and in a relationship where lies are present, there is no room for sincerity. It's like a crack in a wall that will eventually become a chasm. If she's able to lie about something insignificant, she'll lie about something important. And even if you catch her in a lie, she'll make 1,000 excuses to avoid responsibility. After all, if she can lie to herself, why shouldn't she lie to you? I'm sure there have been times in your interactions with your friend that you've noticed oddities when she told you stories that sounded plausible. but deep down, you felt that something wasn't right. However, you convinced yourself that it was just your fantasies, that she was incapable of lying. And here lurked the main mistake, your desire to close your eyes to the obvious, to deceive yourself for the sake of an imaginary peace of mind. Next, look also at her environment. Her friends are mirrors in which her true self is reflected. If they spend their time in endless entertainment, she is immersed in that world. If all their conversations are reduced to appearance, gossip, and discussion of new acquaintances, then her interests are superficial, devoid of depth. Such women are not looking for a real relationship. They are looking for the next man who can satisfy their vanity. Another important sign that is worth paying attention to. If after the first intimacy she freely walks around in front of you naked, not trying to cover herself, it signals that for her it is a common thing. This suggests that she has been in this situation many times before and does not see it as a big deal. Conversely, women who are shy about their nudity at the beginning of a relationship tend to be more decent and loyal, and those who display themselves with ease are probably used to it and have too much experience under their belt to be embarrassed about anything. If you meet such a woman on your path, don't try to remake her or prove something to her. Take it as a chance to realize how your relationship shouldn't be. Observe, draw conclusions, but don't let yourself be deceived. Men often fall into the trap of their own self-deception. You may meet a woman who seems perfect for you. She is beautiful, smart, and passionate about you. She makes you feel special, like she's the very thing you've been looking for all your life. But remember, all this may be just an illusion. Men often tend to see in women what they want to see, not who they really are. You may convince yourself that it is with you she will change, that for your sake she will give up her old habits, that you will become for her the only one for whom she will give up all others. But these are just your fantasies that can lead you to disaster. The reality is that if a woman is prone to frivolous behavior, it will not go anywhere. Her morals, her lifestyle, and behaviors formed over the years won't change just because you want to believe the best. She may genuinely believe that she is capable of being loyal, but when the moment of choice comes, she will most likely take the familiar path. Don't rely on a miracle. If there is something in her behavior that confuses you, alarms you, it's not an accident. These are the signals your intuition is sending you, and they can't be ignored. You can turn a blind eye to these signs. You can convince yourself that this is temporary, that she will change, but in the end you will face the bitter truth. A woman who does not seek harmony and stability will sooner or later destroy your relationship. This is inevitable. You can be the strongest, the smartest, the most successful, but even in such circumstances, she will be disappointed in you sooner or later, and you only have to watch a month, a year, or 10 years. And realizing this shouldn't scare you. Here's what you need to realize. Your happiness depends not only on your efforts, it depends on who you choose to be with you. Don't create a relationship on illusions and hope that a woman will change. It is important to see reality as it is and make decisions based on that. When you choose a woman, look at how she behaves in her normal life, how she treats other men, her friends, her family. Her behavior is a mirror that reflects her true self. If she shows respect for you, strives for harmony, values calmness and stability, it's a good sign. But if you notice the signs I've listed, be ready to end the relationship at any time, even if it's not easy. The main point I want to make to you is don't give in to self-deception. If something is wrong, if something bothers you about her behavior, don't ignore it. Act quickly, without hesitation. Turning a blind eye to the problem is the path to pain and disappointment. And don't call that pain love, because it's not love. It's a game you'll lose sooner or later. Remember, sometimes the best way to save yourself is to give up what you think you hold dear. The world we live in is full of deception and illusion. People hide their true faces behind masks, and we often forget that behind every smiling face there can be a dark soul. For a man who wants to preserve himself, his honor, and his future, it is important to see the world as it is, without rose-colored glasses. When you choose your life partner, you are actually choosing your future. And if you choose wrong, if you close your eyes to the warning signs, you will wake up one day in a cold void, surrounded by lies and betrayal. You should not risk your soul for the sake of fleeting pleasures. Women who live by the principle of here and now is the very poison that destroys not only the relationship, but also the very personality of the man. Such a union is doomed from the very beginning. You can thoughtfully choose those who will be next to you. You can choose what kind of life to lead. And if a man comes into your life who brings more pain than joy, more anxiety than peace, you must find the strength to break those chains before they tighten around your heart. A man's real strength is not in tolerating or forgiving everything, but in making the right decisions even if they are difficult. And if your intuition tells you something is wrong, trust it. You are stronger than you think, and you deserve better. In this world, where the truth is often hidden behind a mask, it's important not to lose yourself. It's important to stay true to your principles and not give in to weaknesses. Live with your eyes open, make decisions consciously, and don't let anyone deceive you, especially yourself. These are the last words I wanted to say to you today. Ultimately, everything depends on your choices, your life, your destiny, and your future. Don't be afraid to break the vicious cycle to set yourself free and start anew. End of entry.